Hey, it's BT, and I'm coming finally with the Austin GP review. As you can tell by the bags underneath my eyes and my voice, it was a great weekend with MotoGP and just seeing all the people. GP is a family, man. It's great to see everybody. It's like a family reunion with relatives you actually like. That's what it is. You bonded together, not through blood, but the blood is motorcycles and motorcycle racing. And you just can't beat it. It really is. Any Europeans or anybody coming over to watch race, please come to Austin. Please come support that track. They don't love it like you guys love it. I wish America loved motorcycle racing like the Europeans love it, and it's just a shame they don't. So please, please, please come over. It's great. It's Texas. That means it's big. It's gaudy. When you get off the plane, we'll give you a gun. We'll give you tacos and great racing and hot chicks, and you can't really beat that. We got a great track. We'll give you a gun. It's almost mandatory. When you get off the plane, we'll give you a gun. That's mandatory. It's Texas. So please come and support that racetrack before they take another GP away from us. Anyway, let's get down to it. I did this before, but the video didn't post, and they said it went too long. So I'm going to try to edit this down to 10 minutes. Anyway, Moto 3. Moto 3 was surprisingly the last two Moto 3 races really. They weren't the tight races like we expected. Congratulations to Fenati. He needed that win. Navarro made one mistake, but there was one mistake too many. And let me tell you something. Brad Binder. Okay, you know those guys that hang around girls, or girls say they have a guy friend, and that's my best guy friend. He's my guy friend. And then like 2 years later they get married, and you go, I thought he was just a friend. She goes, well, yeah, but he was always there for me, so that's why I got married, because he knows me, and I love him, and that's why we're together, because he's my best guy friend. We were friends before. That's what Brad Binder is. Brad Binder is that guy who's a guy friend. He's going to friend zone his way into a championship. You watch how he's got 3 consecutive podiums in 3 races, and it looks like he's not going to be there, and he's there, and he gets the podium, and he's going to friend zone his way into a championship. You watch. He's going to be there. I don't know, like he just pops up like, Brad Binder's there? Where the hell did Binder come from? That's what Binder is like. He's never on your like the first or second breath, but Binder is always there. But the big story was actually Antonelli. Antonelli started 30th because of that screwed up. The whole weekend was a little screwy racing wise. In Moto 3, you had different guys on the front row, and Philip Ertl got the pole position because it was raining and during qualifying. And anyway, Antonelli qualified 30th, but he worked his way up to 7th place with 2 laps left, and he slid out. And he low-sided. Let me tell you something. Antonelli, you watch. Antonelli is going to be a big superstar. People compare him to Marco, and I say maybe in looks, but in talent-wise, he kind of reminds me of Marquez in the sense of Marquez crashed a lot, but once he got it right, the rest is history. So watch out for Antonelli. Congratulations to Navarro for getting a podium, and for Locatelli for being the #1 rider on that Leopard team. Fabio Q was going to get a podium look like, and then his bike conked out on him. 3 consecutive 13th places. I think Fabio's going to come around, but it's just bad luck for him the first 3 races. They go to Europe, it's going to be a different story. Moto 2. Moto 2 is getting back to what it was. And what Moto 2 was, remember they had Marquez and Crazy Joe, and they had Paul Espargaro, and they had Brado, and they went back and forth. It was just a fight, and that's what Moto 2 is back to. It's a fight. Alex Rins pretty much cemented his way into MotoGP with that win. He was just smooth as linoleum on a frozen lake in Helsinki, Finland. Wow, where did I pull that out? I don't know, but that was smooth, wasn't it? Anyway, and Alex Rins was smooth. That's why they compare him to Lorenzo. He was just smooth. He got out to the front, and every time Lowe's would drop it down within a second, Rins extended the lead. He never was challenged. The real race was for 4th through 7th place. I thought it was good racing. Congratulations to Gerter, my buddy Dominic Gerter for getting the 4th place. And Johan Tight Shoes Zarco, you watch. He's gonna be an underrated MotoGP racer. He knows how to manage tires, and for the Moto2 championship, it's gonna be between Alex Rins, Sam Lowes, and Jonas Folger, and also Johan Zarco. Let me tell you something. Zarco is underrated. Even though he's a champion, he's underrated. He knows how to race. And if I was Folger is going to be in the mix too. Folger needs to be a little bit more consistent. And to get in his head, I would just go up to Zarco, and I go, the Germans are coming, and give him that look with those blue eyes, and go, the Germans are coming. You don't want the Germans to come. You know what happens when the Germans come. Yeah. And just do that and kind of look at him and just get in his head. 'Cause he's French. So get in his head, like, and they start thinking back, history, like, and they just scare they just scare the paddock. You said the Germans are coming? Half the paddock is like, don't say that. And that's what I would do if I was Folger. I would just scare everybody by saying that. I think Folger, Lowes, and Rins, and it's just going to be a great Moto2 championship. Thought it was a decent race. I think Moto2 is back, though. The real race was for 4th through 7th. Great racing. Moto2 is back. Check the race out. MotoGP. Of course, Marquez is undefeated. He did nothing to disprove the fact that he owns America. When he comes, they're going to rename COTA the Circuit of Marquez. That's what you name it, the Circuit of Marquez, because he dominates that place. It was a what the kind of race it was? It was a WTF kind of race. When Rossi slid out, he felt that energy just drain away from the crowd. It was really weird when he said he burnt the clutch up in the beginning, and he never really got right, and which is really weird because it was Lorenzo who, when he crashed during the warm-up, Lorenzo is kind of like, Mr. Fragile himself. We call him Mr. Glass because he always breaks. Because you throw Lorenzo off his game, and he's like, oh God, I crashed in the warm-up. I don't feel comfortable. And, let's put it this way. He finished about 8 seconds behind Marquez, and you would have thought he won. That's how much he was just happy to be on the podium. Rossi crashing out was weird. It just slid out. Thank God he's okay. Crutchlow, I'm going to call Cal Track and Field Crutchlow. It's 2 weeks in a row he's had to run toward his bike. He's raced somebody toward their bike. That's 2 weeks in a row, and he's won. He's won the sprint. So I think Cal, and plus he's short and squatty, and those big old hamstrings of his from biking. Call him Cal Track and Field Crutchlow. That's what he is. I love Cal. He's got to stay on the bike, plain and simple. Surprisingly, Bradley Smith ended his streak of points. It hurt me to watch that, man. Bradley was doing great. It was a tough weekend, but I thought he got it together. He was going to get some points, and then he slid out. I just think he was glad to leave the circuit. I just think he got it together for qualifying. Good for him. I just think it was just one of those weekends where just a little bit off. Even though he went on to QP1, he was just a little off. I felt he was just a tad bit off, and I felt that Rossi was a little bit, but Rossi progressed from Thursday through Sunday. That's why that crash was really weird. Anyway, I thought the real race was the Suzuki's, man. God bless Alicia Spargo. You know what Alicia Spargo is? Oh, Maverick Vinales is that new hot chick that comes into school that second semester. Everybody's like, oh, damn, who is that girl right there? She is hot. And Alicia Spargo is like that girl who was the hottest, and now she's not the hottest, but she wants to show she's still hot. And Alicia Spargo was like, oh, really? Let me show you who should be number one in this paddock. And those two put on a great race. Of course, Maverick got him, but I like the way Alicia fought him, man. He fought him tooth and nail, got a 5th place. I thought it was great. I thought that was the race of the race, actually. And props to Danny Pedrosa. Say what you want about Danny. Sportsman of the Year. You can talk all you want about him, but Sportsman of the Year. I mean, most riders, when they got their bike and left, he goes, oh man, you okay? And then he got his bike and left. But you got to give him credit. And then when the bike couldn't go no more, he went to the paddock and he explained himself to Dovey, which he didn't owe Dovey anything. That was a racing incident. I thought that was class act by Danny. Very class act. Thank God that Danny didn't have the winglets and Dovey did, because if he had the winglets, he'd have chopped Dovey's leg off. Dovey would have been the one race man. He'd been like the fugitive on a Ducati. He would have had one leg racing, and he had to hop up the podium steps to get and to spray champagne with one leg is very hard. That's what would happen if Honda would have the winglets instead of the Ducatis. So overall, I thought the racing wasn't as good as it normally is. It was a parade toward the end, and I think all the races for first and second, they're pretty much were a parade. So the racing was just, I thought the best racing was in the back of the pack. And MotoGP, it was the Suzuki's great race. Good job by Maverick. Congratulations on the podium to Iannone. Finally finished the race, which I thought was great, and his whole pit crew was like, whew, it's about time. It's about time. Mamma mia. But anyway, I thought it was a good, decent race, and props to Marquez. I was at the press conference. I was actually at the press conference because I got that kind of pull. And I thought when Rossi's there, it just kind of like you could tell the tension is there. And he's kind of like that old guy that kind of like, you kids stay off my lawn. And then when Rossi's gone and there's a podium between him and whoever, it's always a little more of a happy, jovial mood because Marquez is more happy. So it's just kind of weird. I kind of noticed that. You know, when Marcy's not there for the podium, it's a little more jovial. They took that funny selfie. If you didn't see it, go check it out between him, Iannone, and Lorenzo. Overall, like I said, I thought the racing was just okay. That was an okay GP. Just glad nobody got hurt. Efrain Vasquez, everything turned out okay. He had 24-hour observation from the crash he took. He's going to be okay. So overall, it was okay. But more than anything, like I said, it's like a family reunion. It was just great to see everybody. It's like a family reunion with people who share similar interests, and we get along better than family. I thought it was great seeing everybody. Like I said, Europeans, please come over to Austin next year. Help support this race. And we Americans need it. We don't love it like you do. We do, but the rest of America doesn't love it like you guys do. So please help support us. Thank you guys for listening. I got to shut this off. I look like crap because I just got my voice back. That's how much I just got my voice back. It was a great weekend for me, that is. So anyway, this is going on way too long. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And silly season report. Silly season. I don't care what anybody says, the worst kept secret in the paddock. Lorenzo goes to Ducati, but what happens after that? I personally say, Ducati, you have to let Dovi go. As much as I love Dovi, you have to let Dovi go because Crazy Joe, as crazy as it is, you can calm him down. Say, listen, here's what you need to do. You calm him down, and then you can get him to win. You understand? Where Dovi has had his moments, and he hadn't won. Plain and simple, he won one race. He had his time. Dovi goes to Suzuki because I think Rossi is posturing for Maverick to come to Yamaha. I can see Maverick at Yamaha, but actually I would like to see Maverick at Repsol. I don't think it's going to happen. I'd love to see him at Repsol. He and Marquez together, oh my God, orgasmic. Anyway, that's what I see, and actually I like to see Danny go to Yamaha. I don't think it's going to happen, but I like to see Danny go to Yamaha. But realistically, I think Dovi goes to Suzuki, and then Maverick goes to Yamaha, and I think Danny is going to stay with Yamaha. Danny's going to stay with Repsol. Anyway, this thing's going on way too long. I got to get out of here. More on the silly season next time on the next GP report at Jerez. But watch, Lorenzo going to go to Ducati, and then that's when things get interesting. I'm going to post a silly season review. How about that? Okay, so I got to go. Hope you guys enjoy it. Talk to you later. Peace.